In this video, I am going to simplify D&D spellcasting and detail the specific mechanics that you need to know for each D&D class. In D&D, every spell is associated with a level. These levels range from 0 to 9. Let's start with level 1 through 9 spells. Level 1 through 9 spells are a limited resource, meaning you can only cast a certain amount of each level spell before taking a long rest. This mechanic is represented by spell slots. Your character will gain more spell slots as they get stronger. Here is an example. A character has 4 first level spell slots and 3 second level spell slots. The character casts a second level spell. After they cast the spell, the character now only has 2 second level spell slots available. The character takes a long rest, which is basically going to bed for the night, which refreshes all of their spell slots. This means the character returns to having 4 first level spell slots and 3 second level spell slots. The character gets stronger, also known as leveling up, and gains 2 third level spell slots. Now the character has 4 first level spell slots, 3 second level spell slots, and 2 third level spell slots. Now let's return to level 0 spells, which are commonly referred to as cantrips. Cantrips are spells your character can cast at will. This means there is no limit to the amount of times your characters can cast these spells. So cantrips can be cast an unrestricted amount of times, while level 1 through 9 spells can be cast a limited amount of times, as dictated by your character's available spell slots. Preparing spells. There are hundreds of spells in D&D, but your character will not have access to all of them at a given time. This is where the mechanic of preparing spells comes into play. Think of preparing spells like packing a suitcase for a trip. When you're on that trip, you can only wear the clothes that are in the suitcase. You can't wear the clothes that are still in your closet. In D&D, your character will prepare spells. Your character can only cast spells that they have prepared. You can't cast spells you don't have prepared. So preparing spells is your character's suitcase. Another piece to understand is that every class has their class-specific spell list. This means that your character will only be able to prepare spells in their spell list, determined by your character's class. To return back to the suitcase metaphor, you can only pack clothes that are in your closet. You can't pack clothes that are still at the mall. In D&D, you can only prepare spells in your class-specific spell list. You can't prepare spells that are not in your class-specific spell list. Lastly, cantrips and level 1 through 9 spells are treated separately when it comes to the number of spells your character can prepare and changing that list of prepared spells. This will make a lot more sense as we transition to the class-specific spellcasting guide. Here's the guide that I'll be using as we step through each specific class. Primary versus partial spellcasters. Primary spellcasters have access to level 1 through 9 spells as they level up. Partial spellcasters will only have access to level 1 through 5 spells as they level up. I won't dive into how many spell slots each class gets at each level in this video, but I would suggest going to D&D Beyond, finding your class, then go to the classes table if you want more specifics. Spellcasting ability. This is the ability score that affects your character's spell save DC and spell attack modifier. Basically, you want a high score in this ability because it will increase the chance of your spell working. Next, I will cover the number of cantrips and the number of level 1 through 9 spells that your character can prepare. and if and when your character can change that prepared list of cantrips and level 1 through 9 spells. To simplify and standardize my nomenclature, I will continue to refer to level 0 spells as cantrips, and I will start to refer to level 1 through 9 spells as spells. So cantrips are cantrips, and level 1 through 9 spells are just spells. Last spell slot refresh. This is when you get all of your spell slots back. Bards. Bards are primary spellcasters, meaning they gain level 1 through 9 spell slots as they level up. Their spellcasting ability is Charisma. The number of cantrips they can prepare increases from 2 to 4 as they level up, and they cannot change their prepared cantrip list. The number of spells they can prepare is determined by their class level. Go search out the Bard class table if you want the specifics. And you can swap one of these prepared spells as your character levels up. And finally, spell slots refresh after a long rest. I hope through this video you got what you needed, and if you didn't, please let me know so I can cover it in my next videos. It's very clear that D&D spellcasting is complex, and in my opinion, needlessly confusing, and I hope that in future iterations of the game, they make it a lot more streamlined to reduce the learning curve for the game. But if this video was helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel, as I will be continuing to put up more D&D content. Oh, and if you're looking for a D&D game, I made a video on my top tips to finding a D&D game that is right for you. As always, I'm Brandon, and thank you for watching.